We anticipate a kind of confrontational situation. The pro-democracy legislators, as expected, withdrew from the Legislative Council chambers and boycotted the speech.
Right.
And as you said, the chief executive, right at the beginning, named and criticized the student movement organizations, specifically warned against any tendency of emphasizing a Hong Kong identity, as well as trying to settle Hong Kong issues, Hong Kong matters within Hong Kong, as a kind of pro-independence sentiments to be warned against. And of course, meanwhile, various occupation campaign activists are now being arrested. They have to report to the police stations.
Right.
So people expect a crackdown, but people didn't expect the kind of rather dramatic accusations of student organizations by specifically naming them right at the beginning of the policy address.
You don't think there's going to be any pushback on this, do you? I mean, after the 79 days or whatever last year, I mean, as a society, as a community, Hong Kong is very weary, got very tired of that. The fact that he's actually addressing and devoted so much, I've never heard a policy speech with that many pages devoted to housing. At least he has created the illusion, or at least the look, that the appearance that he is proactively doing something to improve people's livelihood. Isn't that going to take precedence?
Unfortunately, there are no attempts to achieve some kind of political reconciliation. And in terms of delivering better social services, especially housing supply, it is significant that people in Hong Kong, right before the policy address, through public opinion surveys, indicated already that they had no high expectations. The housing issue is problematic because despite the efforts of the C.Y. Leung administration, the government has not been able to enhance short-term land supply and short-term housing supply so as to depress the prices. So in fact, in the past 3 years, real estate prices still have been going up, and people therefore do not see any easing of the housing situation in the foreseeable 2-3 years. The chief executive now talks about reclamation, and we all understand between the talk of reclamation to the actual delivery of flats, it may be at least 8 to 10 years.
Okay.
So,
Sri, say hi to Dr. Cheng.
Thank you, Bernie. Professor, if the Occupy movement does regroup and mobilise again later on this year, as they have threatened to do so, will their tactics and will their strategy be significantly different from last year?
Not much different. On February the 1st, the pro-democracy movement will organize a protest rally demanding democracy. Meanwhile, you certainly expect a kind of non-cooperation campaign going on within the legislature. There will be a lot of filibustering, a lot of attempts to block appropriations for the government, and probably there will be some protests ahead. One of the pro-democracy legislators, Albert Ho, has indicated that he will resign, and using the territory-wide by-election as a kind of referendum on the political reform issues.